Challenge for an actor is to bring that eyes welling up in a running shot.
If we can just recall that particular scene.
वो सीन मुझे एक्चुअली दो तीन बार करना पड़ा बिकॉज पहली बार ट्रॉली का फोकस गया.
Did you have any apprehensions considering that it is a controversial subject as well when the promo came out?
Balasaheb ji was a controversial personality. So it's people in the industry who say कि ओ अगर आप इनको मना करेंगे तो वो आपको boycott कर देंगे. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Hey, this is me Amrita Rao and you're watching Bollywood Hungama. Do subscribe and hit the bell icon.
Okay, so there's this one particular scene where she receives the letter from Mr. Thackeray,
Yeah.
and I think it's very superbly done. There's a lot of subtlety in that. There's a lot of nuance in that. And जो आपके चेहरे के expressions जिस तरीके के आपके change होते हैं, आपकी जो body language fidgety हो जाती है, that's wonderfully done. It's like a seasoned performer. So everyone knows that Amrita Rao is a wonderful actress. If we can just recall that particular scene.
Well, yeah, that is of course one of my favorite moments as an actor because not because it was an emotional scene. See, I have done many emotional scenes in many films, but I like the way the director conceived that scene, you know, and the way he directed literally, because that scene starts from the point that I get the letter and then I enter the house and I enter the kitchen and there's this domestic help and I tell her to aap bahar jao and I go inside and then I tear the letter and the camera is on a trolley and it's coming close to me and then I tear the letter and I read it and then there is this emotional built up and built up and built up which leads to the high and you know like she has tears in her eyes and she's feeling every emotion that's written in the letter. So not many directors conceive a scene like that. You know, that's truly challenging your actor कि मैं edit नहीं करने वाला हूँ. I'm not going to cut to the letter shot and then come to you. So you have time to put the glycerine and not many directors realize that, you know, the challenge for an actor is to bring that eyes welling up in a running shot.
Wow.
Many people just cut it, you know, like I did TV. I debuted in a finite series in TV and TV people I felt that, you know, they don't give importance to like sometimes such nuances that actors give so much emotion to and that scene is special. और वो scene मुझे actually दो तीन बार करना पड़ा because पहली बार trolley का focus गया. And I prefer as an actor, you know, to get my emotional scenes like in the first take because it's a lot and you can't cry and then like go dry again and come and cry again. So I prefer to do it. But वो trolley का focus गया फिर और कुछ हुआ and then I was like, oh my God. But Abhijit sir really helped me. He was like, you know, just forget all of this and I'm sorry that कुछ technical error हुआ and that always happens like that you have to be prepared that you can't let all these things bother that moment because that moment is going to be eternal on screen.
Definitely. Yeah. Okay. All right. And did you have any apprehensions considering that it is a controversial subject as well? When the promo came out, there were polarized views. Some absolutely loved it and some had certain reservations.
See, you know, the way I looked at it is that Balasaheb ji was a controversial personality, you know. It was like, you know, like you can hate him, you can like him, but you can't miss him. He always had that stance. And that's why in Maharashtra, okay, so most importantly, what I'd like to convey, and this is my reading of the whole thing, is that the film shows what happened in that 60s and, you know, when the Marathi Manus was given a secondary preference when it came to job opportunities over a South Indian or a Gujarati. So at that time, perhaps that issue was really relevant. And because it was relevant and so many people were starved and they were feeling the pinch of it, when Balasaheb rose that, it got it caught fire. The moment really caught fire, you know. Maybe that doesn't have any relevance today. With time, relevance of the same thing changes completely. Sure. So we are not trying to propagate that theory in today's times. We are showing the film as it was because it's all documented in history. And nowhere in the film we are trying to sugar candy an image for Balasaheb, which people are loving, you know. He is controversial. You can see it as he was, as the man was. And he was loved, revered, respected. Some people want to see the film because they were the beneficiaries of his vision. Some people want to see the film because they were curious. They are curious to know the ideology of the man. So it's Balasaheb Thackeray, and his legacy will always continue.
All right. Now, one question that I think almost everyone will be having for you is, you're such a fine actress. You've done some really big films.
Yeah.
Some of your characters, be it Viva or be it Main Hoon Na, be it
Sajjanpur.
Sajjanpur. So they are so ishwish. They're so fresh in the minds of people. But why is it that we haven't been seeing too much of you?
Okay, so very honestly, like when I started the film industry, I was blessed with no godfathers, with no sugar daddies to pick up the phone on you and make sure that you're at the right place at the right time on the right covers and getting the right awards. And I mean, all that is fine, and it happens. But I think I was destiny's child, that nobody can sit and plan like Ishq Vishq, Silver Jubilee, Main Hoon Na, Silver Jubilee, Masti, Silver Jubilee, 25 weeks, Viva, Nobody can plan that for you. So it happened to me, and I found my place in the industry. And from the very beginning, I was very particular that, I was very particular about the films I do, the projects I'm a part of. I knew that I can't carry the films on my shoulders. So I was like, either the producer has to be strong, or the director has to be strong enough, or the co-actor has to be strong enough. I always saw that जब मैं film select करूँगी, one of these factors have to be very strong to carry the entire weight of the project. And it will not be the heroine, because those times were also different, like now we see heroines getting their dues and people wanting to watch a heroine protagonist film. So having said that, like there came a time when, of course, the generation is changing and cinema is a slice of life. So the generation wants to see on screen what's happening in reality. And they are so physically comfortable with each other, they have no problem being intimate with each other. And of course, there were so many that, the big offers continued. I also got an opportunity to be an in-house actress with one of the topmost production houses of India. And it was an artist. It was not just about like one role or one film. It was like an in-house artist. But I think I had to sit and make a choice, because people in the industry are very professional. Nobody wants to surprise you on the set and say कि अभी एक kissing scene है और एक intimate scene है, आप कर लो. You're always told in advance कि this is the requirement. If you're part of the whole deal, then you have to surrender in good faith. Everything will be like, nobody's. I mean, obviously, it's not cheap or vulgar. It's just the way reality is, like you're so comfortable being intimate with your partner on screen. So I had to sit and make a choice whether I want to do this. Having said that, I knew I would be compromising on my comfort zone, because it's a very personal thing, So I decided to gracefully decline those offers. And I think those directors also were, I think the bigger you are, the more graceful you are. So it's people in the industry who say कि अगर आप इनको मना करेंगे तो वो आपको boycott कर देंगे. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. They respected me. They respect my decision. I'm in touch with them even now. And yeah, I think you have to stay true to your comfort. That's something I've always followed. Hey, this is me, Amrita Rao, and you're watching Bollywood Hungama. Do subscribe and hit the bell icon.